There's a national program called Teach for America, where college graduates are given a few weeks of training, then they teach in public schools for a few years before they move on to their chosen professions. No Southern Arizona school uses Teach for America right now, but it looks like our Superintendent of Public Instruction, John Huppenthal, is getting together with Sunnyside School District Superintendent Manuel Izquierdo to bring the program to the Sunnyside District. Now, this isn't official. As far as I know, neither Huppenthal nor Izquierdo have made any public announcements about this, but from what I heard, it's definitely in the works. It's possible the first time most people will even hear about it is when it's brought in front of the Sunnyside School Board. The program is controversial, so I think the community should have some idea of what Sunnyside may be buying into before this is a done deal. Well, Teach for America. It's a favorite program of the conservative corporate education reform movement because it dovetails so beautifully with so much of their agenda. Teach for America tends to emphasize teaching to the test. It's deeply involved in expanding charter schools, and maybe most important, it weakens teachers' unions and moves us in the direction of deprofessionalizing teaching by bringing in a bunch of minimally trained, uncredentialed college grads to teach our children. The problem is popular with the billionaires who support the corporate reform movement, so Teach for America has lots of money to push its program, about $250 million a year in public and private money. As I'm taping this, the Arizona state budget includes about $500,000 for Teach for America, taken from our already meager education budget. Huppenthal can use that money to offer Sunnyside a sweetheart deal by picking up some of the expenses of the Teach for America program. Well, people like me in the progressive education camp just like Teach for America for the same reason the corporate reformers like it, because it's part of the push to deprofessionalize and dismantle public education. So, how does Teach for America work? Excuse me. Well, college graduates apply to the program and they promise to teach for 2 years. Then when they're accepted, they attend a 5-week summer boot camp, 5 weeks, which is supposed to give them all the training they need to begin teaching. Then they apply to districts that use Teach for America recruits, and the new teachers with their 5 weeks of training are usually placed in some of the most difficult teaching situations in the country, in schools populated with low-income, often minority children. As a teacher, let me tell you, the first few years are hard for all teachers. And it's especially hard to get jobs in schools, when you teach in schools with hard to reach and hard to control children. Teaching in schools like these is a trial even for dedicated, experienced teachers. For the Teach for America recruits, the experience can be devastating. Many of them think of this as, community service that'll look good on their resumes. Lots of them graduated from the best schools in the country and they've never failed at anything. They're told they'll be surrounded by failing teachers and failing schools, but they'll be able to succeed to bring their students some real education. Well, lots of them leave before their 2-year commitment is up, and others hang on because as hard as it is, they just decide to stick it out. Well, some succeed, of course. They're the ones Teach for America brags about, but many others have written about their harrowing experiences and feel the Teach for America program is a failure. I don't see how bringing Teach for America recruits into Sunnyside School District is going to be good for the students. The district serves mainly low-income children, many of whom come from homes where English is a second language. Bringing in a kind of glorified temp agency isn't going to solve any problems. And I'll tell you, the fact that the program is being pushed by Superintendent Huppenthal, who seems to think that private school vouchers are the answer to our educational problems, that certainly doesn't raise my confidence about the program.
No, and Teach for America gets big dollars from big donors, and they have a lot of political power, a lot of political clout. In the Phoenix area, they are actually in quite a few number of schools, and they have some swanky headquarters in downtown Phoenix. And if you look at the fundraisers that they have there and in nationally, you see just all kinds of very wealthy people giving to this institution, thinking that they're doing something positive for education. But your points, I think, are very valid, and you have to question whether a district in a high wealth area would find it acceptable to bring in basically recent graduates with no, I mean, a 5-week training course.
I'll tell you the answer to that. No.
They wouldn't.
They
So
don't
this
go
is
there.
really experimentation on lower income children. And I hope that Sunnyside decides not to accept this offer. They have a recall election that is coming up in May, and that school board may change, and that superintendent may change if the school board changes.
And that superintendent may decide to push this on an April agenda to take advantage of the board that is in his favor. So we'll have to see, but it's very important that the Tucson area community understand what's going on here.
Well, and it's great that you're exposing this, Dave, so good job.